Hi, I'm Richard Redmond, and you're watching The Play is the Thing. On this episode, we have our version of the Abbott and Costello routine, which they did on radio back in the 30s or the 40s, Who's on First? Plus, we have some poems by Phyllis and some other short skits. And now, Doug, camera one seems a little out of focus. What's the names of the cameramen so I can talk to them?
That's who.
No, I want to know the name of the people on the cameras.
Who? Who's on camera 1? What is on camera 2? I don't know is on 3.
Well, that's what I want to know, their names. The name of the cameraman on camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3.
Who on 1? What on 2? I don't know on 3.
Doug, do you know the name of the cameraman on camera 1?
Who?
Well, that's what I want to know, the cameraman's name.
Who?
Who is on camera 1?
Right.
That's what I want to know, the guy's name on camera 1.
Who?
What's the guy's name on camera 1?
What's on 2? Who's on 1?
I didn't ask you who's on 2, I asked you who's on 1.
Right.
What's right? The guy's name on camera 1.
What's on 2? Who's on 1?
What's the guy's name on camera 1?
What's on 2? Who's on 1?
I'm not asking you. That's what I want to know. The name of the guy on camera 1.
Who?
That's right. Who? Who's on camera 1?
Right.
Are you the technical director?
Sure.
I mean, I would think you know the cameraman's names, right?
You right?
Okay, so now, the person's name on camera 1.
Who?
The person behind the camera on camera 1.
Who?
The name of the guy on camera 1.
Who?
Oh, forget about camera 1. Who's on camera 2?
Who's on 1? What's on 2?
That's what I want to know. Who's on camera 2?
What?
Did you hear me? I said, who's on camera 2?
Who's on 1? What's on 2?
That's what I want to know. What's the guy's name on camera 1?
No, what's on 2? Who's on 1?
I didn't ask you who's on 2. I asked you who's on camera 1.
Right.
We're getting nowhere. Okay, listen. One more time now. Let's make it easy for you. The guy's name on camera 3. Do you know him?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? He's a cameraman. He's got to give you his name. When you got to tell him to go move the camera, well, what do you call him? What his name do you call him?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Some director you are. You don't even know the cameraman's name. Okay, what's the guy's name on camera 3?
Now what's on 2? I don't know who's on 3.
What do you mean you don't know who's on 3? And I
Right.
didn't. Who is on camera 3?
Who's on 1?
I didn't ask you camera 1. I'm asking you who's on camera 3.
No, who's on 1? I don't know who's on 3.
You know, I give up. I don't care, really.
I don't care who's on audio.
What?
What's on 2?
Oh, cut.
Well, Costello, I'm going to New York with you. The Yankees manager gave me a job as coach for as long as you're on the team.
Look, Abbott, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
I certainly do.
Well, you know, I've never met the guys, so you'll have to tell me their names, and then I'll know who's playing on the team.
Oh, I'll tell you their names. But you know, it seems to me they give these ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names, pet names, like Dizzy Dean.
His brother Daffy.
Daffy Dean.
And their French cousin.
French?
Goofy.
Goofy Dean. Well, let's see. We have on the bags, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
That's what I want to find out.
I say who's on first, What's on second, I don't know's on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You going to be the coach too?
Yes.
And you don't know the fellow's names?
Well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy's playing.
Who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who?
Yes.
Huh. Look, you got a first baseman.
Certainly.
Who's playing first?
That's right.
When you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
All I'm trying to find out is the fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The guy that gets...
That's it.
Who gets the money?
He does. Every dollar of it. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. But what's wrong with that?
All I want to know is when you sign up the first baseman, how does he sign his name?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
How does he sign?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
No, what is on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time?
Well, don't change the players around.
I'm not changing nobody.
Take it easy, buddy.
I'm only asking you who's the guy on first base.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
What's the guy's name on first base?
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third. We're not talking about him.
Now, how did I get on third base?
Why, you mentioned his name.
If I mentioned the third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third?
No, who's playing first?
What's on base?
What's on second?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go, back on third. Would you just stay on third base and don't get off it?
All right. What do you want to know?
Now, who's playing third base?
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
Well, what is on second?
You don't want who on second?
Who is on first?
I don't know. Third base. Look, you got an outfield?
Sure.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me, who's playing left field?
Who's playing first?
I'm not. Stay out of the infield. I want to know what's the guy's name in left field.
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
Because...
Oh, he's center field.
Look, you got a pitcher on this team?
Sure.
The pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you now.
Then go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's pitching?
Now listen, who is not pitching?
I'll break your arm if you say who's on first. I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know. Third base. You got a catcher?
Certainly.
The catcher's name.
Today?
Today and tomorrow's pitcher.
Now you've got it.
All we got is a couple of days on the team. You know, I'm a catcher too.
So they tell me.
I get behind the plate to do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on my team, and a heavy hitter gets up. Now, the heavy hitter bunts the ball. When he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I'm going to throw the guy out on first. So I pick up the ball and throw it to who?
Now that's the first thing you've said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's all you have to do.
Is to throw the ball to first base.
Yes.
Now, who's got it?
Naturally.
Look, if I throw the ball to first base, somebody's got to get it. Now, who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
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 So I pick up the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, you don't. You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's different.
That's what I said.
You're not saying it.
I throw the ball to naturally.
You throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
You ask me.
I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you. The same as you. I throw the ball to who? Whoever it is drops the ball and the guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball and throws it to what? What throws it to? I don't know. I don't know throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play.
Could be.
Another guy gets up and he hits a long fly ball to because? Why? I don't know. He's on third and I don't give a darn.
What?
I said I don't give a darn.
Oh, that's our shortstop. Oh, you can cause more trouble. We were going to the 8 to the Bar Ranch to ask the Andrews sisters to appear on our show, and you wrecked the car we were going to use. Well, now we'll have to rent a car.
Well, let's get another car.
We'll have to.
But where can we get one?
A you drive.
Me drive?
No, you drive.
I said I'd drive.
You don't drive it, I drive it.
Drive what?
A you drive.
Why should I drive when you want to drive?
I'm going to drive. Look, Costello, I'm renting a you drive and I drive it.
Oh, then we both drive.
No, we do nothing of the kind. I drive it. When I say you drive, I don't mean you drive. I mean that I drive, although it's a you drive.
When you say you drive, you don't mean me drive?
No.
You mean you drive because I don't drive.
Now you've got it.
Now I've got it. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Now look, Abbott, you go to a place and you're going to rent a car.
Yes.
You are driving a car.
Yes.
Where am I sitting?
You are sitting right next to me.
Is there a steering wheel in front of me?
No.
And you are positive that I'm not driving?
I'm positive.
And are you driving the car?
Yes.
All right. What kind of car are you driving?
You drive.
Somebody better be driving.
No. Look, please. I am trying to explain this. We go and rent a car.
Right now, where are we going to get it?
You drive company.
Now I drive company. I thought we were going alone.
You don't understand. It's Hertz. You drive.
Well, if it hurts, you drive.
That is right.
That's right. This is getting worse.
Don't you see? The head of the company's Hertz.
That's too bad. What hurts him?
Nothing hurts him. Look, every company has to have a head.
Naturally.
Now this company's head's Hertz.
Oh, why doesn't he take an aspirin?
Listen, it's Hertz you drive. All over the country.
Well, if it hurts to drive all over the country, why should I drive and get hurt?
You don't get hurt.
I'm not going to get hurt?
You don't get hurt, Costello.
Nobody's going to hurt me.
That's right. You're not going to get hurt.
I'm not a fool to get hurt.
You're not going to get hurt. It's the Hertz Company.
Oh, the Hertz Company. Look, Abbott, I'm all mixed up.
All right. It's very simple.
Look, Abbott.
All right, now.
I don't want nobody to get hurt.
Will you listen to me, please? The man's name is... Look, Lou, please, look. Take it easy. The man's name is Hertz. He rents cars. You drive. It's the you drive all over the country.
You drive all over the country. Not with that OPA, brother?
What are you talking about?
That's why I can't go. OPA.
What do you mean, OPA?
Only a puny A card.
Get out of here.
When in Disgrace with Fortune in Men's Eyes by William Shakespeare. When in disgrace with fortune in men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble death heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. No Man is an Island by John Donne. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, for I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor bare. But all the time I's been climbing on and reaching landings, turning corners, sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So, boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps 'cause you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now. For I's still climbing, honey. I's still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
Tell me, not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, for the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust thou returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act, that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Art is long, and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still, like muffled drums, are beating funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb, driven cattle. Be a hero in the strife. Trust no future, howe'er pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present. heart within and God o'erhead. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and, departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
If you strike a thorn or a rose, keep a-going. If it hails or if it snows, keep a-going. 'Tain't no use to sit and whine when the fish ain't on your line. Bait your hook and keep a-trying. Keep a-going. When the weather kills your crop, keep a-going. Though it's work to reach the top, keep a-going. Suppose you're out of every dime. Getting broke ain't any crime. Tell the world you're feeling prime. Keep a-going. When it looks like all is up, keep a-going. Drain the sweetness from the cup. Keep a-going. See the wild birds on the wings. Hear the bells that sweetly ring. When you feel like singing, sing. Keep a-going. You know that old fellow, Eucrates, the millionaire? No children but a few thousand would-be heirs?
Yes, lives at Sicyon. Well?
Well, Hermes, he is 90 now. Let him live as much longer, please. I should like it to be more still, if possible. And bring me down his toadies, one by one, that young Marcus and Damon and the rest of them.
It would seem so strange, wouldn't it?
On the contrary, it would be ideal justice. What business have they to pray for his death, or pretend to his money? They are no relations. The most abominable thing about it is that they vary these prayers with every public attention when he is ill. Everyone knows what they are after, yet they vow offerings if he recovers. Well, talk of versatility. So, let him be immortal, and bring them away before him with their mouths still open for the fruit that never drops.
Well, they are rascals, and it would be a comic ending. He leads them a pretty life, too, on hope gruel. He always looks more dead than alive, but he is tougher than a young man. They have divided up the inheritance among them and feed on imaginary bliss.
Just so. Now he is to throw off his years and rejuvenate, while they, in the middle of their hopes, find themselves here, with their dream wealth left behind them. Nothing like making the punishment fit the crime.
Say no more, Pluto. I will fetch you them one after another. 7 of them, is it?
Down with them, and he shall change from an old man to a blooming youth, and attend their funerals.
Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this son of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarms changed to merry meetings. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled brow, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fight the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's bedchamber to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass, I that am rudely stamped and want love's majesty to strut before some wanton ambling nymph, I that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up. And that's so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Hey, gad! Why, I, in this weak, piping time of peace, have no delight to pass the time, unless to view my shadow in the sun and descant upon my deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Why, I can smile and murder whiles I smile, and fret my cheeks with penitent tears, and frame my face to all occasions. I can play the orator as well as Nestor, deceive more slyly than Ulysses could, and like a synod take another Troy. I can add colors to the chameleon, change shapes with Proteus for advantages, and set the murderous Machiavel to school. I can do this, and I cannot set a crown? Ha! From this torment, I will free myself or hew my way out with a bloody axe. Beware, Clarence, thou keepest me from the light. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brothers, Clarence and the king, the one against the other in deadly hatred. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day shall Clarence be mewed up in the tower on a prophecy that says that C of Edward's heirs, the murderer shall be. Dive, thoughts, down to my soul. Your Clarence comes. Brother, good day. And what means this armed guard that waits upon your grace? Ah, 'tis not the king that sends you to the tower, Clarence. My Lady Grey, his wife, 'tis she. Thus it is when men are ruled by women. We are not safe, Clarence. We are not safe. Farewell, my brother. I do so love thee that shortly I will send thy soul to heaven. That